Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott MacKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, industrial professionals, welcome to Industrial Talk. Thank you very much for supporting this platform that celebrates you. You are bold, brave, you dare greatly. You innovate, you collaborate, you're solving problems each and every day. That's why you are making the world a better place. Thank you for what you do. We are broadcasting on site. Accruent Insights is the event. We are in no, we're not in North. That's another event. San Antonio. I'm glad this is a podcast and nothing really. It's just a podcast.
Dumb horn.
San Antonio. Well, I could have said just North America and would have just.
Yeah, you would have been successful.
I would have nailed it. Absolutely. San Antonio's in North America. All right, and it is a wonderful event. A lot of people are collaborating and solving problems, just like I said. All right, we have three wonderful women in the hot seat. Kate, Brittany, Tina. I'm not going to go down the last names, but they are here. University of Missouri. And we're going to be talking about EMS and their beta testing ASI. And you're saying to yourself, Scott, these acronyms, I don't know, I can't do. Well, we'll get some clarity on it. Let's get cracking. All right. Good conference.
Great.
Wonderful. Absolutely.
There it is. You can see me looking at you. Huh? Yes. All right. Well done. They followed the IQs. Very good. So, why is it a good conference? Okay.
I think for us, so we've been longtime users of the software. For us, it's all about the networking opportunities.
Yeah.
I've seen other colleagues in higher education, talking to them about how they use the software. Do we have opportunities? And then also sharing knowledge back is really rewarding as well. And we've had a lot of networking opportunities so far, and we're only halfway done. It's been great.
Halfway. Does it end today?
No, it goes through tomorrow.
Does it really?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
There's
Yes.
like an ending reception at like 6 o'clock tomorrow.
There's a fiesta tonight.
And bull riding.
There's bull riding?
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
No one's told you this?
What?
No, I'm just stuck in the salt mine here.
Oh, well.
You missed the memo.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's okay. All right. For the listeners, I'm going to start with Kate, then Brittany, and then into Tina. Background, Kate. Give us a little background on who you are.
Sure. I've been at the University of Missouri for over 15, one of those. I've lost track.
Started at age 10.
I did. No.
You're welcome.
I did go to the University of Missouri in Columbia, MIZ, as a ZOU, that's right, as a freshman, and then never left. I worked on campus as a student, and then I got into venue management for the rec center on campus. And from there, got promoted and did a lot of other things. But the biggest thing I did to start off my career was I actually configured our instance of EMS, which is event management software.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I knew we'd get to it. And, jot that down. We built it out, and in our first year after having it, we increased our revenue 175%. Because I wasn't wasting my time on administrative paperwork, building out invoices manually, et cetera, et cetera. From there, I grew into other roles, but then in January of 19, I opened on our campus the Office of Reservations and Events, and we do space reservations, policy education, support all over campus now. So I went from being just at rec services and then doing a much larger campus model to where now we manage over 10 buildings, all outdoor spaces, other processes on campus. I have a team of almost 20 full-time staff doing that work, and then oodles and gobs of student staff who support our spaces as well too.
Brittany, it sucks to be you, to fall in case. Sorry about that.
Jeez.
You got this, girl.
Little background.
No pressure, Brittany.
I was going,
Okay.
wow. You better be walking on water after this.
Okay, I'm working on it.
That's the only thing that's
Let
available.
me get that
for you.
elevator pitch.
That's right.
Just right. So, I'm actually not from Missouri, but I do live there now. This is my second go-around back in Missouri. The military's brought us there twice now.
Yes.
My husband's stationed out at Fort Leonard Wood. Our first assignment there, I was at the university for about 5 years. We then relocated, and we came back in 2022. And I started right back up at the university. So I've been there about 7 years. when I started back up at the university, I started in a position as a manager of outreach and communications for the Cummer Institute, which was stood up due to a $300 million gift that the university received from Fred and June Cummer, and that's pretty much paved the path to where I'm at today. So I started in that role, and then as the university, this gift, as you can imagine, brought in so much opportunity for our university, the students, the city of Rolla that we're in, and there was really that need to have a centralized focus on events and hospitality management. And so that position came available, and I am the Director of Events and Hospitality Management. I've been in that role for a little over a year now, and Tina and I work very closely together. I'll let her chat a little bit more. But we've been essentially tasked with getting everybody on the same page. We're a much smaller campus than Mizzou, but we're very
mighty.
There it is.
The Mighty Miners. We're very fortunate to be in the same system and to lean on their expertise. So we cannot wait to make this transition, because the system that we're currently using, I won't put their name on
blast.
Yeah, you will not. But it's spelled like.
I will not. That will give it away. So I think the system that we're trying to move over to will be more focused on event management and be more user-friendly, and really provide that hospitality component that I don't think we've been doing the greatest of jobs at. Not because we don't want to,
You're hindered.
Yeah. The way we're doing reservations now, it's not freeing up our time to really focus on that customer service component. And so I think by having this EMS in place, that'll free up our time to really focus on the customers and make money.
I'm here for you, girl.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tina.
Well, first of all, Brittany forgot to mention that she's from San Antonio.
I am.
Are you?
I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
I thought she would open with that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was the only one that made a mistake that said north. Where are we?
Well, we're not letting you be alone
We're
anymore.
talking in the present, though. I'm in Missouri, but I am a Texas girl.
Are you really?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Tina.
Move on from that.
Well, I can't follow in their footsteps, so I'm just going to say I'm just here for the food and the bull riding.
She has
I
great
understand
history.
the food has been.
Phenomenal.
It has been. I'm so full. I had a cookie in front of me. I had some brown.
Yeah?
All of the stuff.
I know.
And I have cobbler right here at my feet.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It's got
It is
bourbon
good to
in
know.
Ooh, yeah, that's the one I want.
All right, so let's get on with the conversation, and we're also going to be talking about ASI, and that is that's the space.
Intelligence.
What's the A part?
Advanced?
You know what?
Sure.
Let's edit that out. I don't
I
know.
think it's advanced space intelligence.
Maybe.
I believe it is.
We will make sure that it is advanced. That's right.
Space is advanced.
It is, totally.
So to you, Kate, let's talk about EMS real quick. Why is that important? What are the dynamics that exist at a university, and why is that platform so powerful and robust, and will be helping you in the future?
I think what's the best part of EMS is that you can do all the things you need to do in one place. It's a communication tool, whether that's via email out to the clients, or it's a tool for you to communicate internally within other units. I mean, we have over 150 users of our software on the back end to support clients using space on campus. And that doesn't even include our S&T friends that are going to join us. So we have all of the details about the use of this ballroom or the use of this meeting room right in one system. It includes your pricing. You can put features about the room out there. Clients can book it online, which then takes away the time of us having to manually put things in for them.
Who are the clients?
Clients for us range. So we support campus departments, so our colleagues who are on campus doing work. We also support student organizations. So they may be in a club or a hobby club or a service club, a philanthropy club, any of those things. They're a recognized student org on campus. We give them booking rights to spaces for that purpose. So they can have meetings, they can put on events to support what they're doing. And then we also work with outside entities. So someone from the community, maybe they want to host a fundraiser. We work with them on hosting their gala in one of our ballrooms. So we work with anyone and everyone to use campus space.
Is it free to the students?
So dependent upon the building, there are certain buildings on campus that are supported by student fee money. So for example, our student unions buildings on Mizzou's campus, there's 2. They can request to use space there. They go in to add services, tables, chairs, etc. And they book it, and we immediately discount it for them based on the software at 100%. So they don't see a bill for that unless they do something like they added something late. We're not going to penalize other student fee dollars for that. They'll pay for that out of pocket. But for the most part, they're using those 2 buildings free of charge directly. Now, at the end of the semester, we run a report. We see, okay, orgs in these 2 buildings with these equipment categories, they used $85,000 worth of space equipment services. We then take from the student fee, we just transfer the money internally into our meeting and space operations budget to cover that work that we did for them that semester. But they are not seeing that bill.
How are you making money? Through these services?
Yeah.
Well, I'm coming to you too, so don't worry about it.
Well, and that's
We're a little bit different.
Yeah,
they are,
I
and that's
know.
new for them too.
Yeah.
So they will have plenty to talk about with that as well.
Yeah, so just bear with me.
So we're
you
an
mentioned you made some money off of this.
Yeah, we're an auxiliary, which means we don't get general funding to support the use of our spaces or our staff who are doing that work. So we have to charge out for our services in order to cover the cost of having the people to do the things, cover the cost of building maintenance. Right now, one of our buildings has tuck pointing scheduled for next year because it was built in part of it was built in the 1920s. Another part of it was built in the 1950s. It hasn't been tuck pointed. We need to do that.
Tuck pointed?
It's where you work on the grout.
I
we can vary across many industries today.
Let's put that hard hat on.
Like, seriously. So we have to have millions of dollars for this tuck pointing project. Well, where does that money come from? Maybe we have a ballroom that needs new paint and carpet because it's outdated. We have to raise the funds to do that. So we're charging for the use of the space. And on campus people, they're paying like $12 an hour for a meeting room. It's not a lot.
Right.
But it allows us to put together funds to support the space, to maintain it, to provide quality services, all of those pieces. So we end up charging, and then off-campus entities, they pay market rate.
Right.
They aren't
I suspect that would be the case.
Yeah, and they aren't the bulk of our business by any means. We are mostly supporting on-campus users, but we do have off-campus folks come in and use space from now and then.
Brittany. So, with that said, you've got this solution, right? This EMS solution, but you're not on it. You're on another system that rhymes with. Just kidding. Sounds like no.
She's not kidding.
But you're on it, and you're listening to what Kate can do and what functionality exists within that system. How is that going to transform your business?
It's going to be night and day. So every detail she touched on, from catering to, gosh, let me just break this down. To book a reservation at our university, you submit a reservation request. It comes into an email inbox. We open that email. We go into the system. We create your reservation request. We also have to build your event plan out. The end user has to also use a different system to go to catering to book food. And they also, if it's an outdoor space, they also have to go to our facilities team for setups, so for tables and chairs. So we're very siloed in our own departments, and so this is really bringing us to a centralized system that's going to be, I think, life-changing for our department, but also for everybody that's using
the user.
Yes,
Oh, absolutely.
They cannot.
Right off the bat, I would get tired of clicking and
Exactly.
going, and I would say, never mind, I'm not going to use the facility.
Well, and right now they can't see live availability. So they're blindly submitting a request, which takes up most of your time then finding a date and time that works for them. Whereas
And then even with us,
No, we don't typically do.
On our end, we have to, so if the space is not available, then we have to do our end, and then we go back to the client and say, I'm sorry, that space is not available. Do you want to change your date or your time, or especially if we're trying to book an academic building for them, and that their professor that they're working for, they want this session at this particular time. It's not available because there's a class going on, right? And so it's just
time is money.
Time is money, absolutely.
So for them to go online alone for client requests, they're going to save probably 50% of their time right there. No question. It's wild. You get so much time back just by having this system as a resource for you.
In any given day, we can get between 50 and 150 reservation requests. That's from faculty staff, that could be from students, that could even be from external clients. So we have such a wide range of clients that come in. We're constantly doing requests.
We're an office of 3 full-time employees, and we lean heavily on our student employees who do all of our event setups.
Are you tired?
Do you like what you do?
We do.
We
really do.
I've been on campus for 25 years.
See, you didn't share that. You were just saying bull riding and food.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We know what her priorities are.
So I am the manager of operations for Havener Center at Missouri S&T, and so I manage the student union.
Yikes.
The operations, which includes the S&T store, which is a bookstore, and it has a game room and a bank, and then we have our dining services, our food court, and so there's a lot of moving parts.
Wow.
And I manage about 23 students.
Wow.
Saint.
She is. She really is.
Okay, so we have this system. How long will it take for you to deploy
Kate.
somebody to deploy this system to get it?
The right answer is
go
tomorrow,
live.
but
I wish it was that fast.
right.
It is very dependent upon a lot of different factors. So number of rooms, number of service items, being equipment or people or fees, etc. And then training. You definitely want to prioritize training and make sure you're taking the time to learn everything about it. Plus, that build-out phase, we also use it for training so you can learn how to use the system, so by the time you do go live, your clients don't know that it's new to you, right? Like, you are now the expert in that system. So I would say in their case, we're probably looking at a 2-month to 3-month build-out. It kind of depends on time, right? These folks are doing operations day to day. So they also
have to still do that.
Yeah,
correct. So you still
stop.
you still have to have that time to sit down and dedicate to the build out. Like, they can send information, and on our team I actually have a project manager who does the EMS work for us. She's wonderful. She will work directly with them to take care of all of that, but she has to meet with them regularly, so there's still a time component of that connection piece to get the things done. That'll take 2 to 3 months, and then that training period and the import from the old system over to the new system. But you do that manually, so you learn the system in and out, and you know what you have to do.
That's putting lipstick on a pig.
It is, but it is really critical
to do the manual stuff and bring it on in. We need the data.
She's making us work for it.
Yes,
yes,
it will be.
But you will walk away from that, and you will be experts in your operation on EMS. And
I have no doubt.
It is, and everyone, we've onboarded, I want to say 15 departments already in our instance, and all of them leave that training and they know exactly what they're doing. Like, we prioritize their training for them, and then they go live, and we then tweak stuff as they go. They maybe want something done a little differently, and I would say overall we're looking at 6 to 8 months. But
perfect.
That works out great, because in 6 to 8 months you're right at the end of the spring, and you can go live over the summer.
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Year.
Yeah.
Yep.
But see, what's interesting is that you would have all the data to make that transition happen. The tables, the AV equipment, right? Am I looking at
Yes.
that? So you have all that.
Yes.
You have the dollar amounts associated with it.
For the
so
first
that's
time.
pretty good. You don't have to created out of, whole cloth.
Thin air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, tell me about this space intelligence.
So the space.
Getting a rocket ship.
yeah.
It is. We got a satellite.
Right.
It's pulling in information. It circles the globe.
Sees
it's
through the walls.
There it is. It projects. No.
So Space Intelligence by Accruent is a software that is designed for you to help manage your people count, essentially, in spaces that you operate. There's also a leasing component. We don't really have that in higher education, at least on our end.
Yeah.
But it allows us to set capacities of spaces, and then we can get utilization data out of it. And I think it's really designed well for corporate right now, but I think there are so many great opportunities for higher education to get there with ASI. You can run reports out of EMS all day and funnel them into a table and do some charts and some other things. But what's great about ASI is you put in those parameters and it immediately displays the things you're wanting in a graph or in a view. And that is just so much faster that, again, time is money, right?
Yeah.
So all of that time you're saving by not having to pull reports and then plug them into a chart or whatever is incredible. It is a really cool product. I think on the higher ed side, it's got a ways to go. But it's been great being a part of that process because they're so open to feedback and hearing about what things they can incorporate to make it better. And it's just been great.
Is Brittany and Tina part of that?
Just me.
And because Kate and her team are the beta testers, they're just a prime example of what a wonderful organization that Accruent is, and they're looking for that feedback to help build their products.
See, I'm somewhat of a fan of how Accruent interacts with the customer and really tries to get that information and reflect those recommendations in their services and their platform. I do like that.
It's definitely become a priority for them over the past year.
Yeah.
I would say 18 months ago it was not as strong.
Wow.
But
that's good.
Seeing where they're at today versus that 18 months back, 2 years back, no question, they want to hear client feedback and they want to actually do something with it. Then that has been a change, which has been amazing.
How do we look at the advent of AI? How's that going to change your business?
On the EMS side, from what we've watched in sessions today, actually, and yesterday a little bit, I think they're considering it as an opportunity. I think from a venue management perspective, it makes some of us a little nervous because it's so new, and there are so many little nuances and gray areas about venue management and supporting events. Events are all gray, right? Like you have certain things you have to follow that are black and white, but you have to be flexible. Yeah. And I'm sure AI is flexible as well, but I think there's still a lot we need to see come out before I would confidently say, sign me up for AI in booking my spaces.
You can't get rid of that customer service component.
And that's the other
right.
fear. The people matter, like those relationships matter. So I think there's still always got to be that human component. But if maybe at the onset, there's a few little details it could take care of for someone who doesn't know what they're doing, maybe, no problem there. But I think it can't replace the whole process.
I don't think you never want it to get to a point where the individual's saying, I just want to talk to someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And so
because the buzz is, of course, AI.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you are freed up 50% of your time as you deal with this, what are you going to do with the other 50%? I mean, what can you focus on that frees you up?
Well, we have a new building that Brittany manages, and so we just have so much going on campus. There's so much building and construction going on campus right now. And not only do we much like Kate, we also manage outdoor spaces as well. So we're just, I don't know, I mean, there's just so much going on.
Well,
but it makes you more efficient.
Tina's a very hard worker, and she'll sometimes send me pictures of her in the parking garage, the last car in there. So I'm hoping with the time that it frees up that she goes home at a decent time. That would be nice for Tina.
You know, you're going to have more time, but there's always going to be something to fill it, just speaking from experience. I mean,
Well, at the rate campus is growing, just in the next 5 years, we'll probably have at least 4 new buildings up.
How do you sort of commission those buildings? Like, you know, all of a sudden they get into your system, right? Now all of a sudden I have more rooms to rent out and more
We
equipment
meet
that
with
is
campus
needed.
partners.
We would like to meet with campus partners, and I think that's something that we learned with the opening of our newest building is I wasn't hired into the role until after much of it had been designed. So now that we have more buildings coming up, I'm more actively involved in those roles, and I can share from an event perspective, like, hey, we need more space for storage. You know, this is probably how the room should be attached to. Yeah, so, and you know, campus is learning too. I mean, this is a very unique time for us. I don't know of a time where there were 5 brand new buildings coming up, you know, that quickly. And so I don't know if there was a play-by-play book for us to follow on that process, but we're learning as we go.
Well, and the Welcome
And I'm-
Center is a great example of you being involved with some of their design.
all I've said is just invite me to the table. That's it.
But
You know,
that's where space intelligence can sort of add value.
if you're
Get in at the design time and say, hey, just FYI, this ain't this. This is.
we don't need
sounds
7
good,
more
but
conference
we don't
rooms.
need that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
We
I
need
can
this.
show you this utilization data.
There you go.
And on our campus, what we're actually lacking is a really large ballroom space. I mean, we don't have ballrooms that can seat more than 250 in banquet. How many events occur that are over that number?
Right.
A ton. And even in Columbia, there's a gap a little bit. And we have, that's where we could showcase. We almost have to showcase, these are the numbers we are turning down, right?
Yeah.
We're good on this size. We don't need any more of that. This is really what we need. And having that data to showcase that utilization is just huge.
And that's what we're looking forward to, is be able to have that data and take that to our administrators
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, the
See.
data is so strong.
See?
Right.
No, you have to do that. That's fascinating. Okay, we got to wrap it up. We've gone long.
We're too interesting, and you can't help it.
You definitely are spicy.
Well, we are in Texas.
Yeah,
We are.
might as well be.
Don't give us a bad rap.
Brittany's hometown,
We are.
but she didn't want to say it. All right.
Thank
Kate,
you.
How do they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of us. We are reservations.missouri.edu. Plenty of contact info there.
If I want to know more about that sounds. And Brittany, how do they get a hold of you?
Events.mst.edu is our website, so come on over.
And
Check out
brand
the
new
contact us.
website.
Yep.
Oh, is it really?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it looks great.
And it's going to be much more better too.
Much more
Better.
better.
Yeah.
Better. And I think we're all on LinkedIn, so you can find us
Yeah.
individually
Are you
as well.
really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. See, that would be the best one. I didn't
Yep.
know. And I didn't want to assume anything.
Google our names, I guess.
Yeah,
No, yikes.
all right. We're going to wrap it up on the other side. We're going to have all their LinkedIn contact out on Industrial Talk because you need to connect with these ladies because a lot of great insights. Yeah, I like it. All right. Listeners, we're broadcasting here in San Antonio, Brittany's hometown. And it's the Accruent Insight. And it's been a great event. A lot of problem solvers. We're going to wrap it up on this side. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
Rockin' conversation. They had pepper. All 3 of them had pepper. That was a fun conversation. We were talking specifically about EMS and ASI, which is the Event Management System and Advanced Space Intelligence, brought to you by Accruent. And when you look at University of Missouri and all the events that take place there, and to be able to coordinate that and to make sure that you have all the stuff necessary for these events, that's dynamic. It just doesn't happen by, just because. Got a great system there. Great team right there. Reach out to them. LinkedIn, right there. All right, Industrial Talk is here for you. You need to amplify your voice. You need to be successful, definitely, in 2025. So reach out. Go out to industrialtalk.com. Be bold, be brave, dare greatly. Reach out to these three ladies. Change the world. We're going to have another great conversation shortly, so stay tuned.